Hey everybody, welcome in, it's Nova here, Rock and Stone. So here we are today, guys. I'm going to showcase my first impressions of the Season 4 beta today. This is only day 1. Things are bound to change later. The first thing we're going to be taking a look at is the Randomweisser beer. This thing randomizes your cosmetics and your loadout before a mission. It lasts for 1 mission each time you drink this. And you don't know what your loadout is until the mission starts. So this is what happened to me when I tried it. I got a very interesting looking dwarf and a very interesting loadout. I got Mine Layer System on the Hurricane and Electro Mindless on the Burst Fire Gun. I also got these sticky grenades. My perks are kind of horrendous. I did get Dash and Iron Will, which I was grateful for. But my passives are not that great. Yeah, this is completely randomizes your entire loadout, including the cosmetics of your pickaxe. Literally everything. I think that's pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to messing with it more. Alright, and now we've got our Glyphid Septic spreaders. These guys right here. They spit out pools of this orangish colored acid, and it kind of sits on the ground for a while. It has a pretty high DOT. It breaks our shields very fast. So don't stay too close to these guys, and if you see them, run. Chat and I were talking about these guys being new disruptive enemies, and they kind of have that feel with their acid lobbing. They're like acid spitters, but worse. Because these guys do it in an area, whereas the acid spitters can't do that. These guys are going to be particularly rough, I feel like, to fight on shield disruption missions and missions where you don't have a lot of sugar or nitra, because they're just going to whittle down your health. And now we've got our next little showcase here, the Glyphid Stingtail, our scorpion friend, whose tail is able to launch out at you and try to grab you. He can grab you from a pretty considerable distance. His tail has a pretty good range. These guys are another disruptive enemy that we're thinking about here, and they kind of have that feel too, much like with the Septic spreaders. These guys could easily drag you into a crowd of bugs, especially on Hazard 4 and 5 when the bug hordes are really dense. Like, that could easily be a death sentence. If you've got a Stingtail or 2 in there, drag a couple dwarves in there, you could wipe out half your team really easily. And of course, what video would be complete without the Lithophage Corruptor? This is our new boss enemy for Season 4. I had the anticipation that this thing had the ability to move, and I am glad that I was right. He infects the ground all around him, and of course, he's covered in the Rockpox thick armor. At least it kind of looks like armor to me. So you deal with this guy in a pretty similar way that you do to the Lithophage meteors. You run up to him, one of you guys, and call down a cleansing pod in the area. And then what you do is you use the Lithofoamer and the Lithovac to weaken the outer shell. There are going to be 2 layers of this, so you're going to have to get through quite a bit to be able to physically damage this entity. It does take a little while, so be prepared for a bit of a battle, and you can see him spitting out the Rockpox larva as well. This can get kind of tricky. We had a rough time with this one on stream because we also had a bug horde, so that was a fun time. We had a couple of Stingtails come in and join the party as well. Yep, there's one right there. He got me. Yeah, you see, he got me. That was a pretty good distance. Yeah, this is really a boss fight, like Crevice mentioned on stream. I really do enjoy the Lithophage Corruptor and the concept behind him. There's a couple other attacks that I'm going to showcase here. He can also slam into the ground in front of you guys, creating kind of an AoE blast. And he can also shoot out the Rockpox straight at players in a straight line on the ground. This could easily infect an entire team very fast, especially if he's also infecting the ground. This can make it very rough. We had a rough time with this one. I'm sure most teams probably will. Yeah, this guy was definitely worth the challenge. It fights back, and I love that. Alright, and last but not least, we're taking a look at the jet boots. Something a lot of people have been looking forward to with this season. You're looking for a pink box on the terrain scanner, came to find out. So you chase after that box, you go for it, and it pulses. And you play this little mini game when you come up to it. It's kind of like Flappy Bird, for those of you who have heard of it, and who have seen it or played it yourselves. It's kind of cute. Look at that little boot. You can see it kind of... This took me a good several attempts to get right. It's kind of hard, just like Flappy Bird is. Alright, so after a few tries playing with this little guy, this little boot, kind of like it's Flappy Bird all over again. You now unlock the jet boots. You can equip them from this box, and you can fly. I believe I can fly. You can't fly for that long though, so be careful. Try not to fall to your death while using these. You can overheat them, as you can see with the red meter on the left side of the screen. They are really fun, though. You can float for, looks like 5-ish seconds or so. I didn't actually time this. It looks like you can use these to reach, like, high-up objectives. So, like, a corks are a great example of this. More kite mining, eggs. Anything where you might have trouble navigating, the jet boots can be a huge help. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rock and Stone. I'll keep you guys posted as changes emerge.